All right, y'all, what's up, what's up? Welcome back to another episode, More Reps Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Chadwick Brown.
And I'm Cabana Beckles.
And we're here once again in the playground of United Wellness with an action-packed episode for y'all, good topics, and also the good old Supersets. So before we get in, how's your week been, bro?
Yeah, it's been good. Finally getting back into the routine after the Christmas holidays. It usually takes me about 3 to 4 weeks, especially on the fitness side. I usually take a little bit of time at Christmas just because so much is going on. I don't really want to train too hard during that time. So to get back into the routine usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way, bro. Like, it takes a little bit to hit the ground running again, get the training back on point, nutrition, whatnot, and just type some of the loose ends that kind of fell through the cracks during the holidays and whatnot. But we back at it, 2023, more reps, always doing it. So now we get into first set we got going on for you. It is, what is the newest piece of knowledge you've received lately in the fitness industry? What do you got
So the newest piece of knowledge I put into my own workout plan is switching it up every now and then, time to time. So I kind of went from the conventional 3 to 4 working sets on a specific muscle group to more of a circuit training style.
Okay.
So now I'm doing anywhere between 15 and 20 reps, a little bit lighter weight, but more controlled, and just trying to hit a series of muscles back to back to back to keep that hypertrophy going, and then also keep my heart rate up to burn a little bit more calories.
Interesting. So like 2 or 3 different exercises in succession?
Yeah, I'm doing 3 right now. So like take for instance later on this afternoon I'll be doing shoulder, back, shoulder, chest, and legs, but I'm going to be concentrating on my quads more so than my hamstrings.
Okay.
So I'll do overhead press for 15 dumbbells, flat chest press for 15, and then getting right into some back squats for 15.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that's intense.
Yeah.
It's the heart rate's got to be like right to the roof.
Yeah.
Wow, that's different. Okay, that's a different style. Something I've definitely found out more recently, it's not necessarily like knowledge, it's kind of more like insight and way to connect with the muscles more. I'm lifting with more intention. So the last few sessions I've done, I did a back session, a chest session, and a leg session, kind of lifting in this kind of mentality.
Yep.
And I'm really kind of more so closing my eyes and focusing on the muscles themselves, engaging and working. So I'm literally envisioning as I'm contracting the weight up and squeezing the muscle fibers actually working.
Oh, nice.
They're them turning and grinding and tearing and everything they have to be doing with every single rep. So every rep, we're trying to keep it as clean as possible and lifting with intention. So instead of just going in there and chasing arbitrary numbers, saying, okay, I'm going to do 4 sets today, 15 reps at 20 pounds, whatever. I'm actually going in there. I'm not even, unless I'm working on something unilaterally on each side, I don't count reps at all either. I'm just legit just keep going until I just cannot go no more with that connection. Once that connection starts breaking and my form's going, I cut the set. So definitely lifting with a lot more intention. Another thing I've been doing is kind of just more of a thought-provoking thing to peel like the layers as to why. Like, why am I really on this journey right now? Why am I going to train back this way? Why? Really peel like the layers. And when you really think about it, a lot of people might say the usual, it's because I want to get in shape, I want to look good, blah, 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 blah. But no, like, it's bringing me back to some of my childhood trauma that I haven't even really dealt with. So so this journey's kind of intercrossing with my mental also now too. So it's really helping me get that part kind of dealt with also at the same time while also chasing my fitness goals. So just kind of ask yourself why. I encourage everybody to do it every now and then and actually get a real reason, not a superficial reason because I want to look good or I want to live long,
Yeah, for sure.
So anything else with this cross training thing here? It sounds...
Well, part of the reason...
Where'd you come across this anyway?
Well, I used to do it when I played higher level sports because you wanted to go from from movement to movement to movement to simulate what you would experience on the basketball court. So kind of like a sprint down, have to jump for a rebound, maybe contest it for a block shot, land, take off to the other side, play some defense.
Higher
that
pace,
kind of stuff.
kind of.
Higher pace, yeah.
Fair.
Just keep the body guessing all the time. And part of it too was my wife prefers to train in a cross training style.
Okay.
So if I'm going to structure the workout that way, I have more opportunity for her to come into the gym and train with me, rather than she doesn't want to come and do a heavy chest day. She doesn't want to come and do a heavy back day.
For an hour and a half.
Exactly. So if I can tailor the workouts that's going to spark her interest and keep her motivated, then I'll just alter mine as well.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well played for sure. Nice. Okay. So that's what's up. That's the end of set 1. Hope y'all enjoyed that. We're about to get into set 2 right now. Let's do it. All right, set number 2, where we're going to be talking about what is the ideal number of movements to do for a specific muscle during a training session. This is as simple as it may sound. It's pretty complex. Pretty complex question.
Yeah.
So, first of all, the first factor we have to consider is how many days a week you're training.
Yep.
First and foremost, because if you're only training once, twice a week, again, you're probably doing full body, so at least that way. So for me, for each muscle group, I try to get at least 15 to 20 working sets per muscle group per week.
Per week, okay.
Per week, right? So if I'm only working a couple times per week, I want to kind of spread out those sets over the course of those training sessions.
Okay.
So again, let's say I'm training 3 times per week, I'm trying to get 15 sets, then I'll try to get 3 hard working sets per muscle group per session. And again, I'm saying working sets. I'm not talking about warm-up sets or where you feel your sets, you're trying to feel your weight, like actual hard grinding, as close to failure possible sets per session. And again, but if you're only training, let's say my current split right now, I'm working out 5 days a week, but all my muscle groups are split up like a bro split, what they say, right? So again, when I'm doing my chest day, I'm getting 20 chest sets in for that session alone, but that's it for the whole week.
Okay.
So again, I guess it really comes down to how frequently you're training and your style of training. Also, it's really going to determine how much sets you need.
Okay. I break mine down a little bit differently, so I try to structure, even though I'm doing a circuit training style, I try to start off the workout with 2 very difficult or heavy compound lifts.
Start,
yeah.
Okay.
So let's just take, for instance, on my chest day, I'll do a heavy, even though I'm doing circuit training, I'll do like a heavy flat bench press.
Okay.
And then the second exercise for that chest, I'll do again another heavy, let's say incline or decline chest press.
Okay.
Before I start going into fly action or single arm contraction type of movements for the chest.
Okay, I see, no doubt. Yeah, and even another touch back to what I was saying, let's say when I'm doing 20 sets for chest, again, it's not just all 20 sets of one exercise, because I'm trying to hit different angles of the chest.
Exactly.
So there's 20 sets, but then 5 of them might be for the upper shelf of the chest. The other 5 might be for the lower. The other 10 I might do flat for the whole thing. Again, so you can get a little more acute on where you're hitting those muscle groups within the set itself. So to get the full number of sets for that week. And, but again, there's no right or wrong answer at the end of the day. It's a lot of gray. It all depends on who you are, what your goals are, how frequently you're training. You know, so it's hard to give a definitive answer. This is the exact number, you know?
Yeah, and on my fitness journey years ago, probably going back 15, 20 years, I would read a lot of bodybuilding magazines, and they would say, don't start doing a lot of these accessory exercises, such as flies or a lot of flies for your shoulders or chest, until you've developed a good base, because that's kind of like putting the wax on a car after it's been washed type of thing. That was the analogy that they used. So you have to build up that base first, because I'll see newer lifters. There's a bunch of younger guys here, and they're all over the place, and they're supposed to be. They have to experiment, but
of course, fair enough.
They're jumping from flies and trying to max out on flies, which is ridiculous. And then they're trying to do dumbbell flies. So they'll go max out on cable flies, try to max out on dumbbell flies, and then go try to max out on flat bench press.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
there's no rhyme or reason to that. It's just all over.
So you're all over the place. So I would say, if you're kind of a novice or beginner, somewhere between 2 to 3 exercises per muscle group would be good to start. As you become more seasoned, then you can do exactly what you were saying, was fine tune the angles. So you might even go 4, 5, 6 different exercises, because now you're hitting a different part of that muscle that you want growth in, rather than just kind of your basic one exercise, do it all type of thing.
Do it all. That's a very good way to put that, for sure. I guess it definitely comes down to your experience level.
Exactly.
You're right. So newbies, definitely you want to just focus on mastering the movement first and foremost before you start doing these different angles and inclines and whatnot. Just learn how to do a proper chest press before you worry about putting on a 45 or whatever have you. You know what I mean? I like that for sure. All right, that's what we got there for set 2. It is time, set 3. Let's get into it. All right, set number 3, we're gonna be talking about how important is it for women over 40 to weight train and also do cardio. This is a really great topic, because I have a fair amount of my clients are females over 40. When you start this out, what are your insights on this?
Yeah, working with various age groups, and I do a lot of work like yourself with ladies over 40, 50, 60. I used to work at older age home where I had clients that were 70, 80, 90.
Wow.
So the biggest thing that happens as we age, especially over 40, is the decrease of muscle. Mm-hmm. And then also when we are decreasing muscle, typically we're decreasing our strength. So over 40, I believe, even as myself, that it is very imperative that we do heavy weight training. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean heavy as in a set number of pounds to put on a bar. Heavy in relation to that individual.
Who you are, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very, what's a good way to put it? I like putting in or implementing a powerlifting type of style with elderly people. So heavy deadlifts, heavy squats, and heavy bench press, because between those three movements, you're going to get a total body workout.
Okay.
So just because they're 80, 90 doesn't mean they can't pick up something heavy in relation to their weight, their age, and their functionality at that time.
Got it.
But it is very imperative that they do lift something heavy rather than concentrating on cardio, because the majority of your clients aren't in a state where they're doing so much cardio because that has to be translated to like their sport. Like they don't need that over excess of cardio.
Got it.
Don't need to lose the calories through cardio, because ultimately, and you possibly could attest to this, that weight training is going to burn far more calories than sitting on that treadmill for 30 minutes.
And for longer,
Yeah.
even after.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure. So when you say you implement kind of powerlifting style training, you're talking about you say heavier weights, but for like lower reps?
Yes.
Do like singles, doubles, triples kind
of
thing?
Yeah, so I'll do doubles, triples, and then work our way up to 6 to 8 reps, and then increase the weight, go back down to doubles. And increase them that way, go back down, increase them that way.
Interesting,
Yeah.
for sure. A lot of things that I have to interject with this is not necessarily, a lot of them aren't particularly specifically to women, just people over 40 we need to weight train, because for one, like you said, loss in muscle mass. It's gonna, there's anti-aging things that come with lifting.
Yep.
It balances your hormones out better.
Yep.
But specifically for women, because when they're 40, they're starting to get into that menopausal territory.
Yep.
And when they start hitting menopause, their bone density starts going down.
Yes.
Arthritis.
Yeah.
That's what starts to kick in, and when the bones get weaker. But if you weight train, again, that's going to boost your it's going to boost your metabolism. It's going to balance your hormones, and it's also going to help your bones stay stronger. So it's going to make them like less prone to those kind of breaks that they might have at older age as they get into more menopause.
Yeah.
So for women in particular, I'm a big proponent of telling them, yes, definitely lift weights. You're just going to feel better. It's going to be better for your blood sugar. There's like a plethora of different reasons why to weight train, and like why not, so. Anti-aging, like I said before, their skin, what else you got here?
And another component to it is, as you're lifting weights, you start to feel better and your daily activities start to become easier. So a lot of people, as they age, you always hear that misconception, oh, life's just getting harder and harder. But a lot of times, it's people aren't working on their bodies to keep it as strong as they need to be.
Yeah.
So everything's getting harder. Like going to the grocery store, picking up groceries, that might be getting harder. Just manual labor around your house, that's getting harder. But are you weight training? Because that's going to also give you the ability to pick up those items and that longevity and the sustainability to have an easier life going down as you age.
Improves your overall quality of life. Yeah, like you said, is it really getting harder, or is it just because it's getting harder because your body's breaking down because you haven't been taking care of it? So why not implement some weight training? Again, like you just touched on earlier, again, it's going to burn more calories. It's a proven fact. It burns way more calories than cardio. There definitely is going to be a place for cardio as you get older, because you want your heart as healthy as possible, because it also deteriorates with age. But I would definitely prioritize weight training over top of cardio, or have a combination of a bit of both going on. And again, in women, all my female clients that are over 40, the change that they've seen in their body from then when we started till now is just, they're just over the moon with it. A lot of them saying getting out of bed is just even easier. Some of them said it's hard just to get up, and their hips and their knees be cracking. Don't happen no more. And then this will transfer over to the men too, like I said before. Like I have a client who's 56. He first started with me, says knees are bothering him. Even today, I had him squatting. He's like, I can't believe I'm doing this, and my knees just feel so much better.
Nice.
So again, definitely weight train, ladies. Get your diet on point and everything. Do your cardio and whatnot. What else you got to add to this?
And if you are over 40, men or women, and this is your first time going down that resistance training or weight training journey, I highly recommend getting with a personal trainer, just to show you exactly positioning, how to move the weight, how to pick and select the correct weight for what you're doing at that time. Just because an injury at 40 is not going to be the same as an injury at 20. It's going to take you that much longer.
It's a long journey
and
back.
Also, and then also it's going to discourage you from even coming back to the gym.
Very good points. Very good points. So definitely look out for some guidance or some insight on how to do it. Don't just go in there all willy-nilly and just like, okay, I'm going to start lifting whatever, or I've seen this on YouTube now, so I'm going to do it now, because you need a trainer there to kind of oversee you to say, hey, because we said before, everyone's different. Squatting for one person can look totally different for another person because they might have a bad knee or whatever have you. So a personal trainer can see if your knee's caving in and say, okay, let's turn your toes out to give your hips more room to get down so your knees are caving in. You wouldn't be able to know that just watching a YouTube video, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's a very good insight there also, man.
Nice.
All right, set 3. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Shout out to all my over 40 women's out there crushing in the gym. Keep doing your thing, you know? All right, you know what time it is, y'all. Super duper, supersets. Let's do it. All right. You know what time it is. Set number 4, the almighty supersets. First, I'm going to throw my man right here. We're talking about some training. Would you rather directly train your abs and your core, or have them train through your lifts by engaging them, by tightening your core?
It's funny that you had that. I have the exact same question for you.
For real?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The exact same question. So, me, typically, I don't really enjoy training core. I'm putting it more into my training style now that I'm doing circuit training.
Okay.
But I used to get a lot of core stability and conditioning through heavy lifting.
Yes.
So just the stabilizing of, let's say, deadlifts, heavy back squats. I was getting a lot of core activity, but now I'm concentrating more on the direct impact exercises that will target the core.
Got it. Yep. I'm in the exact same boat that you're in right now. I was never a big fan of doing any form of crunches or direct ab or core training. And I kind of just lean on it more so engagement in my lifts. So I'm getting heavy, bracing the core, like I'm about to get punched in the stomach in order to get the weight up, and to really brace my trunk. But nowadays, again, I'm in the cut right now, so as I'm getting leaner, I want my abs to pop a bit more. So I am incorporating actual ab training 2 to 3 times a week now. At the end of the day, you don't have to. Like they say, the abs are made in the kitchen. You can definitely get abs just through your nutrition alone, because we all got them, just under layers of fat. So if you melt that fat away, you can see it. But again, just like any other muscle group you train, it's going to get bigger, it's going to get stronger. That's going to make it pop more. So nowadays, I am training more abs.
Nice. Okay, one back at you. Going to some older bodybuilders. So 2 have to go out of the 3.
Oh.
Jay Cutler.
Okay.
Ronnie Coleman.
Okay.
Phil Heath.
Woo! Triple OGs right there. Yo. Okay. I think the easy one everyone's probably gonna say Ronnie is the god. But Phil Heath is a beast for sure.
Yeah.
And even if you just look at his journey, like he used to be a basketball player.
Yeah.
He didn't even look like any
Yeah.
form of like specimen the way he is now. He's a freaking beast. You know? And Ronnie is the god for sure. But I've always fucked with Jay Cutler just because of the swag component. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he did that quad stomp, bro, and it just that blew my mind. I still watch that video to these days. You know what I'm saying? All their physiques are amazing. Ronnie's separation in his, he's just insane for sure. But I'd have to say Jay Cutler just for the whole swaggy thing. And he looked like a surfer dude, and he just looked different. You know what I mean? Like I fuck with Jay.
Nice. I'm going to lean, like you just said, I'm going to lean more towards Phil Heath just because I have a background in basketball.
Fair.
And his journey's kind of crazy because he started so late.
Yeah, that part.
So think about going all the way through high school, college, not really lifting weights, but more so training for sport. And then after college, then getting into bodybuilding, and then doing multiple Mr. Olympia championships. Like, it's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Phil would stay,
I would say Phil.
Ronnie, and damn, none of us picked Ronnie.
He just got too big. Like, he got so big that it just looked, I don't know. Animation or something. Like, it just got over the top, man.
It's just a little much. Yeah. Definitely a mass monster for sure. You know what I mean? All right. Got a deep one here for you.
Okay.
Time travel. If you could time travel, would you rather go back and change a specific history event, or just change something in your life in particular?
That's a good one, man. That's a good one.
It's tough. Change one event or just change something in your own life.
I think I'd go back and change just one thing in my life.
Okay.
Like I touched on before, maybe a previous episode, my father passed away when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
So I think if I can go back, I would go back in time for us to have a better relationship if I knew that he was going to pass so early in my childhood that we could have had a better connection that I think, and I know that would have helped me with raising my kids now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I appreciate being vulnerable, man. That's a great answer. I appreciate that for sure. For myself, I try not to live with any regrets because the way my life is right now, I wouldn't change anything about it. I know if I went back and changed one thing, my life, who knows how my life would be right now.
Exactly.
So again, I try my best, and then we're humans. We have things we regret sometimes, but I try not to live that way. So I would probably go back and change an event, and not even fully change it to the other way. And the event I would change would be slavery. And I'm not saying, because again, if I went back and fully changed slavery and said, okay, we weren't slaves, who knows how life would be right now.
Yeah.
But at the same breath, it would be interesting to see how it would be if we never got taken from our homeland and brought to different parts of the world and whatnot. And again, black people, we encompass this whole earth. We're all over, you know what I mean? But if that one event didn't happen, it runs through my mind, how would things look nowadays? How would we be living? Would we be dressed like this right now? Would we have cars? Would we have, you know what I mean? And that it's really thought-provoking to me. So I would definitely go back and change an event. It would probably be slavery that would change too.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, one back at you, switch it up a little bit, going to training styles. So do you prefer an ideal warm-up for a specific muscle group, or do you go right into your lifting sets?
Okay, good question. Nowadays, I definitely warm up. Before I never did it. I would just walk in, jump right in my thing, do the last way I did before, and try to get as much reps before. Now that I'm understanding how to kind of activate and also even deactivate certain muscles before you start lifting. Example for that, I say is when I do leg training, I'm very glute dominant, and my glutes always take over before my quads actually get a chance to activate. So now what I've been doing now, before I do anything, I hop on the leg extension, do 2 to 3 sets of maybe 20 to 30 reps, very low weight, just getting the blood flowing in there to feel a little minor burn to wake these guys up before I even do anything else. And even with my squats, I make sure I don't go below 90 degrees for my glutes to jump in. So I definitely do more of a warm up. For upper body, I'll warm up the rotator cuff, so I'm gonna be doing some kind of pressing motion. Do a little feeler set to feel how that weight feels, and then go up from there to keep the proper connection. So I'm definitely a big proponent in warm-up sets nowadays.
Nice.
You?
Myself, now that I'm backing off the weights and doing more circuit training, I have some cardio equipment at my house, so I'll utilize that cardio as my warm-up, and then get into the lifts right away. When I know it's going to be a heavier day, if I know it's, I don't know, out of the week, I'm going to do heavier deadlift or squat, I will warm up with some lighter sets just to make sure the form is there and get some blood into the muscles, as you were saying.
That part.
And then I'll get into my heavier lifts.
Nice. For sure. Good one. All right. Next one, I got back at you. Some basketball shit. Now, everyone has the age-old argument, LeBron or MJ. I decided to take MJ out of it now, and I want to see what you think. LeBron or Kobe?
It's similar. I think Kobe and Michael Jordan are similar than LeBron is to either of them.
Okay.
So I had this discussion the other day with a buddy of mine, and the best way to break it down that we found was, if you were starting off a brand new franchise, which player are you going to build it around?
Okay.
And I'm going to go with LeBron.
Okay.
Because LeBron has the ability to play the second fiddle on a team or take a back seat role.
Okay,
and
fair.
people are going to say, no, he doesn't. Yes, he does, because if you look at when they won it in Cleveland, Kyrie was the guy going down. LeBron had crazy stats off the chart, but if you look at down the stretch, dagger shots, it went through Kyrie.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to build a franchise, I'm going to take LeBron first, because I can have him as my primary, and also if I need to get that killer, I can bring him back and put him in secondary position.
Okay.
So I would go LeBron over Kobe, because I think Kobe and Michael Jordan are basically both of them are Black Jesus, and they can give you what you need anytime you need it. They're not in under the same mindset as to pass first, shoot second. Everything's getting done through them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lean more towards LeBron.
Okay, I didn't anticipate you going that way, but it's all good. Okay, all right. Me, I would say Kobe.
Okay.
Now, statistically wise, it's almost a wash because they're both great. They've won multiple championships. Kobe won 5. LeBron's won, what, 4? Maybe 5?
4 or 5. I don't know.
Something like that too. You know, like LeBron's won a couple of MVPs. Kobe, I think Kobe has 1, if I'm not mistaken, which is crazy. But so statistically, to me, it's a wash. They're both great. So to me, I'm looking at the mentality. Now, to kind of go against what you're saying that he be second fiddle and let someone else shine. I don't want that on my superstar. I want you to be the killer. I want everything to go through you. So where LeBron would probably be quick to might pass that last second shot to Kyrie or whoever it may be, and not take himself. I want my ice cold dagger to the heart player to take that last shot, and that was Kobe every single time. It's called Mamba mentality for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So again, if we take the same analogy of who I want to build my franchise around, Kobe would be my foundation, and all the other guys we plug and play around him, and that's just going to equate to championships. Again, I want that ice cold killer, and I find LeBron definitely sometimes he'll kind of shrink in the moment and be quick to pass it off, and I don't want my main guy to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's just me though.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense
for sure.
Switching sports here, going a little bit of wrestling.
Yes, taking it back. I love the classic wrestling.
So 2 have to go.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
And we're going to go strictly superstar status in your eyes.
Okay.
So Hulk Hogan.
All right.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay.
Or The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Okay, we get different generations there.
Yeah.
Hulk, Randy Savage.
Or The Rock.
The Rock.
Who you rocking with?
Oh, man. Okay. Because I lived through both those generations. So I can't even favor one over the other. Hulk Hogan, I was never a big fan on. Real talk. And I think because he played the whole I'm a real American bag way too much. And I was like, man, I'm not fucking with this guy. I wasn't a big fan of that. Randy Savage, I loved it because he was hilarious just by the way he talked with the brother and all that craziness. And, he was just nuts. But I'm going to have to say The Rock. It might seem like the most obvious answer, but I like The Rock because he played the bad guy. He played the good guy. He played he went through moments where his crowd control also too. You know what I mean? Like his charisma, the witty jokes he would do in the interviews. His battles with Stone Cold, The Rock is just to me the full package. When I see his full evolution, when he first came out like a Samoan guy, it was Rocky Maivia, and he kind of just evolved. You know what I mean? And then now what he's doing now is just craziness. It's even outside of wrestling. But I would have to say, Randy Savage and Hulk need to sit down, and I'm rocking with The Rock.
Yeah, I kind of didn't watch too much of wrestling kind of when The Rock was at his height. Because I thought wrestling was kind of going down a weird path.
It was super weird, but it was hilarious.
It was. So I was more in tune with Savage and Hogan. So I'm going to lean more towards Savage.
Okay.
I used to love how he used to come out and have the big cape and just lay it out. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And always had Elizabeth there with him. So I was like, man, this guy's fly. He has the chick.
Right.
And just his choice of words during his interviews, and I have to rock. And I always wanted those huge sunglasses.
The big,
Randy Savage,
you roll with Randy Savage. All right, good. I respect it. All right, what do we got here for you? Okay, this is another kind of deep one.
Okay.
Would you rather be able to talk to an ancestor from 400 years ago, or be able to talk to an ancestor from 100 years in the future?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Okay, I'm not going to go too deep into this.
Okay.
But I have recently and in my past sat with quote-unquote seers or mediums, stuff like that. And the last person, and she's a friend of mine now, she was telling me some things about my past and my father, how he had certain, if you want to call them gifts or abilities, that he was able to tune in with kind of those different energies and stuff like that. And she says it runs down his generational timeline through all the males on his line, which would fall into me.
You.
So after she kind of told me that, and I've always been in tune with different energy sources for sure.
Word.
It's evolved to be even more and more, because she told me, she's like, you'll start to see kind of shadows here and there, and then that'll evolve to start seeing auras of people, and then you'll start to see facial recognition of people.
Wow.
So I'm kind of in like the shadow phase right now, where I'm just seeing different things and just confused.
So things happening.
Yeah,
Just
confusion. Like, what is that? Like,
word.
it's just like, it's kind of weird. But I would say I would rather talk to ancestors from the past, because history always repeats itself. So if I can get that knowledge from prior, I can know how to navigate now going forward rather than in the future. I'm not really concerned about what's happening in the future. So I would go back to figure out now and give me some insight on the future.
That's a really good answer. I like the way you unpack that. That's good. That's good. Okay. Myself, when I thought about my answer for this one, I was kind of leaning towards my ancestors of the past. It made me think, I'm just like, okay, well, 400 years in the past, not even necessarily 400 years, just in the past, I could really do some digging back on my own if I really wanted to figure out where I came from, who they were, what they did, if I really wanted to. So then that made me think, okay, well, maybe I would like to know what's going on in the future to kind of prepare myself now, my family, of what's to come. So I would probably say my ancestors in the future. I mean, who knows what might happen? There might be some crazy apocalyptic thing that might happen, or is there some big fortune coming, or whatever have you. Just something so I have some insight now and how to plan my future, so to say, going forward. So I would probably rather learn from my ancestors in the future.
Nice. All right, one back at you. So when you're training a new client, brand new fitness journey, do you feel more comfortable as a trainer having them utilize free weights, or you put them on machines first to see how they move with those machines?
Great question. I usually try to do a bit of both.
Okay.
But if I was to favor one over the other, it would be a machine.
Okay.
Because again, it's on a fixed path.
Yep.
And it's going to make them learn the form probably a lot easier. And even that way, I can see if there's any kind of form of muscle imbalances going on as they're using on the machine that's going to translate over to free weights.
Yep.
So we can kind of nip it in the bud on the machine before we can get to free weights. Again, if let's say they're doing some of the preacher curl and their traps are really engaged in doing that. Now we know, okay, you need to retract your shoulders back and keep your chest up in order to keep those retracted in order to do the curl. So when they're using a free weight now and they got to use more stability muscles, there might already know how to recognize when they're kind of tight here. So I would probably be lean more towards them having them start with machines, for sure.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I would put them on the machines first, because I feel that the weight on the machine isn't an exact equation to what free weights feel like.
Yeah,
but
not even close.
It gives myself and the client the ability to see the progression faster on the machine. So in week one, they might do 20 pounds on a shoulder press, but by week 3, they're doing 30 pounds or 40 pounds. So they know that we're increasing the weight, their strength's getting up, and then now they feel more comfortable getting under a pair of dumbbells or a barbell to do the same movement, but now utilizing more like stabilizer muscles. So the confidence is a big thing with me, with my clients. So if they feel confident and comfortable, then I can make them do things outside of their comfort zone. Or
very
level.
Good way. Very good way to say that, for sure. What we got here for you? I feel we've talked about chest a lot this episode, but when it comes to chest, would you rather do a pec fly or a chest press?
Chest press, probably. Again, kind of like we talked about a couple weeks ago with the leg press, I like to feel the weight coming down on me and just feel various muscles engaged to get that weight back up, nice and controlled.
Got it.
I've never been a big fan, and again, because circuit training for sports, I just never really got into flies and just doing that dedicated movement to grow the muscle in a specific path or specific way. So I'm going to lean more towards chest press, but now I'm actually starting to get into more flies.
Got it, for sure. For me, I'm going to say chest press. It just seems it's a more versatile movement too, because again, there's a plethora of different ways you can do it. It's going to hit different parts of the chest, and you can do it. You can do it with cables, you can do it with a bar, you can do it with a dumbbell, you can do them high, you can do them low, you can do them incline, you can do decline. There's so much more variety and ways to sculpt your chest with a press than with a fly, where fly's gonna be mainly more inner pec. At the end of the day, you will get some of the outer pec engagement with the stretch part, but it's mainly more for the inner chest isolation. So I would lean more towards a chest press, and more specifically probably a cable chest press, because again, there's just way more versatility with the height you can put it at, with your arm placement. As long as your arms are going the same path as the cable, you're gonna get a good engagement. It's just more fun to me, to be honest, with the cable.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so many different variations you can do with it. So chest press for sure.
Nice. So as a personal trainer, when you're training a client, do you lean more towards giving correction cues during the movement, or are you waiting until the set's done and giving this to them at the end?
Great question. Very good question. Either or. I think it all depends on what is happening.
Okay.
If it's they're doing something that they're gonna hurt themselves,
Yes.
I'll stop them right away.
Okay.
Say, okay, and I'll explain to them, hey, stop doing it this way because you're gonna hurt your back or whatever have you. But if it's a little cue that's gonna help improve their form, and the form's already kind of good, I'll wait till after the set, and during our rest time, then I'll go and I'll demonstrate how to do it. Give the cue, watch me do this. Now next time you do this, do it that way. So I guess it all depends on how severe of the cue needs to be in. It's gonna determine when we say it. If they're gonna hurt themselves, I'm stopping them right away because I don't want no one to fuck up their back or something.
Yeah. So I lean more towards exactly what you said. So I use it both ways. So sometimes I was trained a long time ago to use cues as distractions sometimes.
Okay.
So a lot of times, if it's a very difficult set, your client's counting the amount of reps that you set for them and trying to get through that rep range as quickly as possible.
Yep.
So I'll use a cue as a distraction to break their concentration on counting on the amount of reps, and then correct what is happening, and then get them into a better positioning where I'm counting the reps and they're just focusing on just the form.
Just the form.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy there. Yeah. I never thought of using that as a distraction.
Yeah, or after the set's done, then I'll say, you know what, we need to change your foot position, your hand placement, whatever it is, we'll change it after.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Dope. I like that. Okay, next one I got for you, some movie shit here.
Okay.
Higher Learning or Baby Boy?
I would lean more towards Higher Learning.
Okay.
It just had a lot greater impact on me. It came out when I was grade school, maybe? Grade school going into high school. So I just had a vision of kind of like what university was going to be like.
That's not going to be like that.
And honestly, a lot of the racial stuff that happened in that movie ended up happening in my universities that I went to.
Yeah,
like, so it all made sense.
Yeah.
How it was still segregated, blacks, whites, whoever, Asians used to hang out with each other. It was like that. So I think just seeing how John Singleton, how he played and portrayed all these different characters. Like for years, I didn't even know why, and I didn't make the connection until years later, like why I hated, what's his name, Remy?
Remy, yeah.
And I'm like, and I read Michael Rappaport's book, and I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, oh my God, it's Remy.
He played Remy, yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
That's
but
crazy.
Yeah, it was a really well produced movie.
Yeah.
The actors were great. It was all people that I was fans of at the time, so I think that made it even a bigger impact. And yeah, Baby Boy was good, but I'm not the biggest fan of Tyrese. So
it's funny. I put this one in last night because I actually was watching Baby Boy last night. And I was just like, man, it was kind of cheese, bro. It was kind of cheese.
Vin Raines like hopping around the room.
Yeah. That was mad. Butt ass nigga making eggs. Like, it was a little much. So with that being said, for me also Higher Learning. I seen it in theaters right when it came out, and it was racially charged, and this actually happened. The racial thing that I talked about at McNabb happened close around to the time this movie came out. So there was a lot of parallels there. You know what I mean? I don't know if us watching that movie fueled us to get after this guy when it happened, because we're not having this shit. But again, it's amazing. The actors in it, Ice Cube was in it. I was a huge Ice Cube fan. Busta Rhymes was in it. I was a huge Busta Rhymes fan.
Omar Epps.
Omar Epps, a young Omar Epps.
And who's his girlfriend that played, or she was the track and field star? Tyra Banks.
It was Tyra Banks. You're right.
Yeah.
It was Tyra Banks. Yeah. Damn, that went right over my head.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in it.
Yeah, stars of the cast, and I've been watching it in years. I might want to go back and watch that.
Yeah,
one,
I'm gonna watch it as well.
Where'd
Where'd you watch it? At Center Mall?
No, with Baby Boy.
No, with the no.
Back then,
Yeah.
This is way back when Limeridge had
Oh,
a movie
okay.
theater.
That was a nice theater. So.
Yeah, it was a dope theater. And then
good.
arcade and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was going back way back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was at Limeridge Mall. I seen that shit. And yeah,
Nice.
it was. Yeah.
All right, my last one to you is training. So let's just say it's getting warmer, spring/summer. Would you prefer, if you had the ability, to train outside or train inside?
I like both. I've done both for sure. I'm gonna say, not even out of preference, but which one I want to do. I'm gonna say outside, and more specifically on a beach. I want to do a beach workout. There's this gym that we tried to go to last year or the year before up north, and it's like a jungle gym. So you see those gyms where the weights are made out of logs.
Oh yeah.
And like whatnot. They have one up north in Muskoka that we tried to go to, and it just seemed like a very primitive kind of style of getting after that I want to attempt to do, and it's obviously outdoors, right on the beach. So I'm probably gonna say outdoors. I probably like to do.
Nice. Same. I'll lean towards outdoors as well. Anytime I can get out in the sun or just fresh air, I just feel my workouts are a lot better fueled with that fresh oxygen coming in.
Yeah.
And I've trained so much indoors living in Canada that a change in weather.
You're over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. See, last one I got for you here. Very straight question. Would you rather have a sport car or a sport boat?
Sport car.
Sport car.
Yeah, I've always have had a passion for cars and going fast in cars.
Got it.
Boats scare me, man.
Really? Yeah.
I've been on some fast speed boats, and it's just, they can get away.
Not
from
your
me.
bag.
No.
Not even let's not even say a sport boat. It's just a boat in general. Like
I'm not the hugest water guy. Like
okay, fair enough.
I'm not the greatest swimmer. Like
Okay.
I only took swimming lessons maybe like 3 years ago to figure out finally how to like feel comfortable in the water.
Yeah.
I'm just not like, my kids are huge water babies. They've always been. My wife's a water baby. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to get more comfortable in it. So maybe 2 years from now,
You might
when
might
I'm better,
have a
then
different thing.
I like going to the beach and staying where I'm comfortable.
Yeah. As long as your feet can touch the ground.
Not even that. I've never had the confidence or the comfort level to go out and mess around in the water. Like if I'm going from somewhere, I'm going from A and I'm going to B, and that's it.
Nothing in between. And
And B has to be somewhere I can grab onto. So I'm not this guy that's going to be messing around in the water, just treading water, looking around at people. Man.
Man. Your bag. I feel you. I'm gonna say for me a boat. I'm gonna pick a boat.
Okay.
Again, not a speedboat. Cars are cool. They're all right. I've never been a big car guy, especially not fast cars. You know what I mean? Like speed just doesn't really jive with me. I like to kind of get to where I'm going to with purpose, and then that's it. But I love being on the water. I love being in a boat. Again, like you, I'm not the greatest swimmer. Again, I feel more comfortable if my feet can touch the ground or whatever body of water I'm in, or if I got something to hold on to. But just being on a boat and just relaxing on a nice summer day, got some drinks going, got some music going, floating around, seeing the horizon skyline, like that's my shit. So I definitely would like to have a nice fancy boat over a fancy car. You know.
Nice.
But yeah, I think that's it. You got anything else?
No, that's good.
I think that is it, y'all. We really hope you all enjoyed this episode of More Reps Podcast. You know, it's doing very well so far. Make sure you come out to United Wellness. Come check us out here in the playground, you know. Hit us up on the email, on IG, on TikTok. Any suggestions, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. And once again, signing off, we are your hosts. I'm Chadwick Brown.
I'm Cabana Beckles.
That's what it is. Let's do it, y'all.